Hi guys, we're here today to review a Porsche supercar. It's none other than a 991 Turbo S. This is a 2015 model. So stay tuned for more product and information. Goodbye.
Very nice.
So on the outside, it's finished in the stunning sapphire blue. The headlights has got the upgraded PDLS Plus headlights, so you get the daytime running lights, moves into the corner, better visibility. The wheels, they're the 20-inch cast aluminium wheels. Brakes, the ceramic brakes, which look absolutely stunning. They always shine. And I think they're about £6,000 option. And I love a center lock wheel. These wheels will go back to the factory color. There's a bit of black and blue theme here, which I like. You got the air intake as well. Some people paint this, but they could be left as factory. The rear windows and the back window, they're tinted, which again gives it a bit more of an aggressive look. The brake lights, they have a slightly dark tint, which again will go back to factory, including the third brake light. This is where the car looks the most stunning and beautiful. It's from this angle here, and it's partly due to these wrapped around exhaust into the rear bumper, and also when this spoiler is up as well. The car looks absolutely mega stunning, and it's really complemented by the sunroof as well, which at the moment is in an open position, as you can see. On the inside, there's lots of light in here, partly complemented by the non-black color, which is this red color, and also some black as well. The black actually has red stitching, which kind of complements the black very, very well. It's got the Alcantara roof lining, which I personally love. And there's lots of carbon. Honestly, it's just stunning, the level of detail. As an option, it also has the 18-way adjustable seats, so you can adjust in any direction, and it feels like you're driving an incredibly fast sofa. Other notable features, not only are the seats heated, but they're also cooled as well. Let's go for a drive now. So on the inside, this is where the Turbo S's really set themselves apart from some of the other Porsches, notably the GT cars. They're incredibly comfortable, so it doesn't feel like hard work. They're very easy to drive, but at the same time, they're quite engaging as well. I got carried away a bit there. The steering wheel has got really nice, soft and supple leather. It's got a good feel as well. I know Porsche went electric steering after the 997 generation, but honestly, it has plenty of feedback, and it feels quite solid as well in terms of driver input. It still feels like you're driving the car rather than the car driving you. Let's talk about the driving of the car. But before I go on, in a nutshell, this car is an absolute everyday supercar. And here is why. You can sit in this car and just drive it like it's a Golf. So you can go pick up your grocery or your milk in it. But at the same time, if you put into sport mode and it gets to 3000 RPM, the turbo spool up, and it's an experience. And my passenger here grabs onto the door handle. And me, I'm not even breaking a sweat. I know I'm in a car that handles superbly. And your heart rate goes up because this car covers distance like no other car. Take it back off sport mode so I can actually talk to you in a bit more civilized manner. So this car, when you compare it to the 997, is very, very different. Those cars are still a bit raw, they're still a bit analog. This car is not only wider and longer, but what's remarkable about this car is how it puts power down. You know, it balances it between the front and the rear wheels very, very well. It also has the rear axle steering, so if you're traveling up to 37 miles an hour, so it will move opposite to the front wheel to make it a bit more agile. And then above 50 miles an hour, it moves in the same directions as the front wheel to just give it that more longitudinal enhancement. So it makes, it makes it for turning into corners, like a piece of cake. And it's very, very easy to approach triple figures on your speedometer in this car. In terms of comfort, it's right up there. I mean, it's really helped by this 18-way adjustable electric memory seats that are heated and cooled. The ride in comfort mode is very, very relaxed. And then if you want it a bit stiffer, you can turn the Porsche dynamic chassis control on, and that makes it a bit firmer, but also helps it go around corners that bit quicker. You could argue when you compare it to other supercars, it's not as loud. But personally, I like that. I don't want people gathering around my car taking pictures and potentially scratching it and God knows what else. So you can actually move around with this car just under the radar. But that isn't to say that this is not a stunning car. It's still a stunning car. It will still turn heads, especially when your alloys are this colored. So it has been getting a lot of looks. Even on this drive, I see people looking over. So we're just coming into a 40-mile-an-hour speed zone, and this is where you've just got to be a little bit careful with this car. Otherwise you'll find yourself breaking the speed limit way too frequently. So one of the must-have spec in this car for me is to have a panoramic roof in this car, because it brings in lots of light. This is a four-wheel drive car, so this is not just a track toy or a summer toy. This can be used all year round. So the roof brings in lots of light, and it really helps. At the moment it's open because we're in that season where you can let air come in. It keeps it nice and cool. So this car will go back to the standard rims in terms of the color on this car, and it's also will be detinted, because I think that stock look is just slightly better than this, because this car doesn't need to garner attention. That's not what it's designed for. Also, the rear badges are missing, so there will be new badging as well. Again, I could see why people might debadge their cars, but honestly, this is a weapon, and if it needs to say that on the back, so be it. So in terms of performance, it has a mammoth 552 brake horsepower, 516 pound-foot of torque, and it weighs just a shade over 1,600 kilograms. So it's still a very, very light car. In terms of fuel economy, you can achieve 30 miles per gallon pretty comfortably. But you don't buy this car to save fuel. So I say hell with it. Whenever you can put your foot down, just do it. You can put this car in Sport Plus, but to me that's too aggressive, because no gears will change unless you're absolutely maximizing it. So it then encourages you to use the whole 550 brake horsepower, and on public roads, I don't recommend it. I prefer the sport mode because it's very, very adaptable and it's very intuitive as well. So you realize that if you're driving a bit aggressively, it will hold it just a gear down for you. And also in sport modes, you get a nice burble as well from the exhaust. But it's like nice because it's subtle as well. The brakes in this car are amazing. What I love about ceramics, apart from the aesthetics that it's always shiny, is also the fact that you don't need to get any heat into them. They bite just straight away. Right from the go. Obviously you need to make sure that your engine is warm. But yeah, it just gives you so much confidence. There you go. I saw a tunnel. I don't like to do this normally, but sometimes you just got to do it. The sound is amplified. We're in the countryside, so as you can imagine, you don't have it bouncing off walls. And I'm here just enjoying this 991 Turbo S. with Andy. How are you liking it, Andy?
I was sitting there with my eyes like wide open on the corners.
You know, this car truly raises your heart rate. That's one thing I've realized about this car, is that whenever I've driven it and you come out of it, you find your heart rate elevated. So at 75 mile an hour, the aerodynamics at the front take place where there's a bit of an apron, it comes out, so to prevent it from getting a lot of lift. And it also, the 3-stage rear wing, that rises as well. And they say at top speed that can produce something like 132 kilograms of downforce. So it's not just for aesthetics, it actually has a very specific purpose. So if you enjoyed this review and video, please don't hesitate to comment, like and subscribe. It does help majorly. Thank you.